Right guys, welcome to today's video. Now I've been very quiet for the last few weeks, but it is a new year, it is the best time to get started, and there will be a lot of you getting started with your fitness journeys. So today you are at the finest Lidl with me, yours truly, and I'm going to take you through a food shop for fat loss. I'm going to try and keep it as cheap as possible. I'm not very good with stuff like that, so I'm not going to put a budget or a limit on it, but I'm going to try and keep everything as cheap as possible so students are covered. It is going to be fat loss specific because I feel like the majority of people right now, it has been Christmas, you probably put on a little bit of timber, probably went a little bit too hard on the pigs and blankets, and I feel like this will help you the most. So enjoy the video, and let's go shopping. So the most important thing for fat loss is obviously a calorie deficit, okay? Knowing energy balance, working out your maintenance calories, and then reducing it so you know that every day you are burning more than you're consuming. When I'm thinking about meals, and if I was a girl who was on say 1500 calories, what I would probably do is try and cook or try and prep 3 staple meals of about 400 calories. And this has given that girl about a 300 calorie budget just for snacking, just in case she messes up, just in case she uses any sauces, but it gives her 300 calories to room to play, okay? Same thing, take a meal for example, say you are on 2000 calories. I would probably stick to about 3 meals of 500 to 600 calories, and then again you've got about a 400 to 500 calorie budget. So again, making everything as simple as possible. You've got protein, carbs and fats, okay? Now, in order of importance, so to speak, when I'm shopping, what I will do is I'll go for protein first because you need to hit that goal, okay? Everybody has a protein target, and especially for us, people who are lifting, people who are training, this is imperative. So that is what we're gonna start with, then go to fats, then go to carbs, and then go to any snacks that might tide your hunger, that might be very low calorie, that are just good to keep you going throughout the day. This is basically everything that covers my protein sources from day to day. When I'm thinking about my breakfast, okay, and I'm gonna go with you guys because you guys are people that probably work normal lives, normal jobs, stuff like that, okay? I have like 2 breakfasts that I'm gonna go for. If I manage to get up or manage to fit in eggs in the morning, that's what I will do, okay? So whether it's a 3-egg omelette, whether it's like a couple of scrambled eggs, whatever, that will be one of my breakfast protein sources. And obviously eggs can, with the yolks, have a bit of fat in, but generally I would still class them as a protein source. Now the other breakfast option that I would go for, which is a bit of a surprise, is Greek natural yogurt. Now this was one of the things that I would use as an absolute staple when I was in my 6 o'clock in the morning, opening the gym, normal day-to-day life sessions, because I might not have my breakfast till 9, but this is a very good one. You can obviously mix it with fruits, mix it with berries, mix it with protein, and it is a very high protein meal. When it comes to lunch and dinner, I'll just rotate protein sources, okay? So whether it is 5% lean beef, this could go for lunch or dinner, depending on what I prep, okay, the night before. Another source, prawns, super low calorie, super high protein, just simple, okay? So depending on whatever I'm cooking, whatever I fancy, normally what I find is the simplest way to prep meals. Whatever I had for dinner the night before, I would just cook enough for lunch the next day. So another protein source, you've obviously got your chicken, staple, and your salmon. And this is pretty much your secret weapon, okay? If you are on calories that are that low, like 1500 for girls, 2000 for boys, you don't want to be wasting a lot of calories on olive oil for your lunch and your dinner, okay? So this is 1 calorie spray, okay? Super good, super simple. Not gonna be wasting it and building up your fat and going over your total calories. These are all your protein sources, and that is pretty much gonna set the staple up for your meals. Right, so the next thing, which I haven't really touched on, is vegetables, okay? So you could sort of semi-put this in your carb source, but they're so low calorie and so low carb that it's almost like nothing foods. Now the reason I say nothing foods is because these are the types of vegetables that I use just to bulk meals up. All of these meals, when I'm cooking my lunches and my dinners, they're pretty much always gonna include one of these, okay? So whether it would be broccoli with my salmon, with my chicken, with my beef, whatever that may be. Making a chili with the lean beef, peppers, okay? Very high volume, very high filling, very low calorie, and that's what you need to be thinking. If you want fat loss, okay, when you are doing your food shop, think What is low calorie, but what is going to fill me up? People must literally be just thinking, what on earth is going on? You might think I'm the next Jamie Oliver. Now, we are on fats. Avocados, not just for Instagram girls, not just for Instagram. I only really have two main fat sources, so to speak, what I'm putting in my basket, and these are avocados, okay, and nuts. So I've got cashews and I've got almonds. Now, the reason for this being is because two of your protein sources that you saw earlier on, which are your salmon and your eggs, and sometimes, if you can't get 5%, your beef mince as well, they've got subconscious fats in them, okay? So like obviously your turkey, your tuna, your chicken doesn't really have a lot of fat in them, okay? But if say on a day you use your salmon, you use your eggs for the morning, okay, this has some extra fat in to the protein. Your body basically has a minimum requirement. So say my minimum requirement of fat to have a functioning digestive system is probably about 40-45 grams, but my goal might be like 60 to 70 grams for my daily intake. One of the biggest things that annoys me a little bit is when people, especially this time of year, have started the fitness journey and they just eat healthy. Now, they're banging loads of nuts, they're having like 3 avocados a day because it looks good on Instagram, the hashtag Fitspo, the hashtag Instagram, hashtag FitFam, and they don't realize how much fat is actually in these, okay? Like most people having a half an avocado a day is pretty much going to get them by anything more than this, and they'll spill over the daily calories because it has a lot of fat in. Very healthy, very nutritious, but you need to be very careful with these. So that is why I pretty much only have to use the fat from my eggs, the fat from my salmon, the fat from any red meat that I have on a night maybe, and then my avocado and nuts. So these are the majority of my carbohydrate sources. Now, I would say the most popular one is probably the rice that I've got here. However, you have two options, right? If you are as lazy as me, now these bags are absolutely fantastic, okay? So you have these 2 minutes, obviously these, I'm trying to keep this as low as possible, okay, cost-wise for you guys. They're amazing. If you're posh, if you go away at Rose, anything like that, you might be able to afford Uncle Ben's, but you know, times are tough. I've been doing a few toothpaste ads lately. Most of my meals pretty much consist around rice, okay? So obviously if I've got the time to prep, maybe if I'm cooking it on a night where I have a lot more time, I'm in for the night, I will use this just because it's easier, just because it's fresh, okay? But there's no difference between this. Remember, the back of the packet's here, okay? The calorie values, that is all that matters. For some reason, people think rice, because the famous chicken rice and broccoli from bodybuilders, is better than the likes of pasta or potatoes. Absolutely not at all, okay? I use pasta all the time. It is just maybe a little bit less convenient than using them 2 minute bags of rice, okay? That is the only reason. That is probably the reason why 90% of personal trainers use them, because they are busy people like me. But pasta and potatoes, if you read the calorie values, if you read the carbohydrate intake per 100 grams, they're pretty much the same. They're very, very similar. For some reason, half of the people in the world are scared of bread. My dad is a key example of this. He always says, if I stop eating bread, I always lose weight. It's not because he's changing like the world. It's not because it's magic. It's not because bread is terrible. The fact of the matter is, most of the meals that he has on a daily basis, when he is being naughty, when he is not there, they're all sandwiches. So if you reduce the carbs that you choose to take, obviously you are going to lose weight. All he's doing is subconsciously lowering his carb and calorie intake, okay? So don't be scared of any forms of carbohydrate sources. Now, the last ones, which are a little bit more breakfasty, and the only ones that aren't savory, are porridge oats and some sort of reasonable calorie valued cereal. So yeah, whatever the meal may be, these are pretty much all of the carbohydrate sources that I use. Don't be scared of any, okay? Don't be scared of a sandwich if you can make it a high protein sandwich. Don't be scared of cereal. It's not gonna make you turn into some sort of, don't know, sumo wrestler, whatever you think it is. Eating healthy, eating clean, eating nutritious, eating low calorie meals does not have to be boring, okay? That is all. Let's see where we go next. You're thinking it, not me. Don't really need to, don't need to. We'll put them in the basket. Fruits. Now, I'm gonna use this as a maybe like a little subcategory. You could sort of classify these as carbohydrate sources, a little bit like green vegetables, but fruits most of the time have got a little bit more than your green vegetables in the sense of they do contain a little bit more carbs, but I would say that they are very low calorie, very high volume, okay? So this is what I would sort of class in my snack period, or maybe having it with my natural yogurt at breakfast time, or generally they are just good to get in, okay? You have to have some sort of nutritious value in your diet, otherwise stuff is gonna shut down, skin's not gonna be good, you're just not gonna feel good. Bananas are a good carb source, and obviously it's a fruit, it is nutritious, but they're actually very high carbohydrate. Like for one banana, it's actually got more carbs in sometimes than most slices of bread, okay? And that is what you would have naturally been told to be scared of for years and years and years. So stuff like watermelons, okay? Per 100 grams, these are very, very low calorie. They contain next to nothing, and they're gonna fill you up a hell of a lot. Pineapple, same sort of thing, a little bit more than watermelon, but is still gonna give you that sort of sweet craving. Again, grapes, yes, a little bit higher carb than like your watermelon stuff, but again, when you think about it, when you compare it to other sources, again, in between meals, good fruit, carbohydrate, low calorie source, which is gonna tide you over. Believe it or not, when I was on prep, I used to go to the movies all the time with friends because I wasn't really going out and doing other stuff. And I used to take like a full punnet of these into the movies while they had popcorn. And yeah, this used to be my little win. How boring is that? Yes, I have no life, but when I was on that, you gotta do what you gotta do, and these were a winner. Another thing, blueberries, okay? Put them with anything, put them in protein shakes, put them in Greek yogurt, eat them in between meals as a snack. You have to eat a hell of a lot of berries for it to equate to a lot of calories. Any personal trainers that say you need to be mad scared of fruit, okay, because of fructose, because of sugar, tell them to fuck off, because to be quite honest, right, total calories, generally, if you are having this, you're gonna be fine. That is it. There's my rant. I'm gonna go put my melons back because I'm not actually gonna buy them, because I'm probably not gonna buy most of this stuff. But I'm gonna show you now 5 cheat snacks, or snacks that you might not have thought of, that you might have even thought are bad, that you might have even thought they're naughty, but I'm gonna tell you because they are low calorie, they're gonna fill you up, potentially gonna get you by on a daily basis. I used to honestly, like when I was really like probably the leanest I was, there's like a few times that I nearly crashed and absolutely ruined myself because I have like sweet cravings, and I used to just sit and eat like 6 packs of this off the bat. Is it those ones? Is it those ones? Right, we're getting somewhere. A couple of snacks that are gonna get you by, okay? Now, we'll have rice cakes. I'm not that bodybuilder, the fish and the rice cakes one, off the viral Facebook video that is gonna tell you just need fish and rice cakes to get big, okay? Shout out to that fella for pulling the wool over a lot of young boys' eyes and putting them through some treacherous tuna and rice cake times when they were younger. These bad boys, okay? These are with sea salt, standard rice cakes, and these ones have dark chocolate covered. But if you think about it, if this is what's gonna get you by, okay, it's a hell of a lot better than you going home crying to yourself with a box of Ferrero Rochers because you're really craving sweets, bag of Maltesers, and then hating yourself for the next few days, okay? These little things, these little wins, keeping them in your cupboards, are gonna get you by. It's very, very simple, but most of the time what I crave when I'm on a diet, or when I'm getting leaner, or when I am lean, who knows, I'm not right now, is crisps, okay? Now, you have these fantastic things that are called lentil curls these days. 92 calories per bag. Yes, they are not as good as Doritos. Shout out to the blue, cool original Doritos, God bless. But a bag of cool original blue Doritos, okay, are like 250 or 60 calories per bag. Now, when you are hungry, when you have nothing on your stomach, having 2.5 bags of this for the equivalent of 1 bag of Doritos is gonna fill you up a lot more. Yes, I understand they do not taste as good, but also having a 6-pack tastes good, okay? So potentially for like 12 weeks of your life, 16 weeks of your life, it might be worth switching at these. Walker's oven baked crisps, they're good, but we're in little. And also Sunbites, very low fat. Yes, they have carbs in, but it doesn't have as much fat as the likes of Pringles, God, I love them as well, or Blue Doritos. Now, this one is an absolute godsend. It is witchcraft, it is wizardry, right? Hartley's 10 calorie jelly. I'm not gonna say you're gonna be starving, okay? But you're gonna be a little bit hungry at some point. You've got strawberry, you've got raspberry, you've got all that good stuff. You can put them in with natural yogurt, it tastes amazing. Generally, in between meals, these are lifesavers. Those are my little treats, so to speak, in the sense of they just get me into the next day when I'm having a bit of a craving for something savory like crisps, something sweet like rice cakes, or these just to fill you up and bloat your stomach a little bit. This is what my trolley's gonna look like, okay? It is a baseline, it is a foundation for fat loss. This is what you should generally be looking like. But you as an individual, depending on your weight, your gender, your activity levels are gonna have different macros and calories to the next person. So remember, portion sizes are important, okay? But these are the baseline, the proteins, the fats, the carbs, your fruits, your vegetables, your snacks. All of these sources is what should make you get to your goals there or thereabouts, okay? So make it look like this. And obviously, I've been on Love Island, so I don't pay for food. So obviously on a more serious note, I'm wearing the top. Muscle Food, my sponsors, they are so good to me. Everything that I've got here, everything that I've covered, you will be able to get all of that and a little bit more. You can even have like zebra on there. This isn't an ad, I'm just a nice guy. I'm gonna put a link in the description box of the best bundle that I can find on their site. My family have been using it for years.
Tell number 2, please.
So, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope I haven't made that much of a tit of myself. I really do pay for food still, I can promise you that, okay? I'm not that much of a dickhead. I thought you were gonna say that there. I thought you were gonna say that because I'm supposed to be a clean cut fitness person. Give me a subscribe, okay? Because, you know, I need some more friends. Give it a like, give it a comment. Next time we are probably gonna try and film the basket, how to cook it, how to make some sick meals, and yeah, that's it really. See you in a bit. That's what I teach you in Scotland.